Since the dawn of time, humanity has sought answers. Through whispers of the stars, the dance of the cards, and the shadows of intuition. Few possess the gift to peer beyond the veil, to see the unseen, and to illuminate the truths buried in mystery. Across the ages, the art of divination has guided the lost, unraveled secrets and brought clarity to the chaos of existence. But in life, there is always a choice, a crossroads between fact and fiction, truth and illusion. It is up to each of us to decide which path we will walk. And now, we have reached this moment, a place where mystery
and truth converge, where intuition meets investigation. Welcome to Seeing Crime. I am Lady Zelda. Let us begin. My mic is muted. Welcome, Mercury retrograde. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. Hi there, hi there. Look at the chat already. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so before I begin, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone. I hope you had a beautiful and a wonderful Thanksgiving. For those of you who don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful Thursday anyway. We had a great time being here. And I want to thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you. So, okay, so hello, TD. How are you, my darling? I love that little profile you've got. Sherry D, bless you, my darling. We'll see you in a few minutes. And then we have our sweet Miss Jules from Florida. I think that's what it is. My darling, what you do is maybe I can have Maria put a link in the chat. I was a bad girl. No, here, I'll do it. Give me a second. I'll do it. I've got it right here. Got it right here. I think. There we go. I found it. I'm so happy because, wow, right? Okay, so here is the link for all of you that would like to order a video reading. There is a $10 special, and that is one question for $10. And I'll get that out to you as soon as possible. Hello, hello, my darlings. Hi, hi, hi. There he is. How are you, my darling? Hi, hi. My goodness, everybody is here. I've been waiting on you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. You like my house. I like it too. I designed this, but one of these days I'll have the real thing. This is my little stage that I like. And you can see I've got a ghost over here in a bottle, and there is Poe sitting there. And I have 4 little witches. Let me get my orientation right here. Hello, I'm not. Hello. There we go. Anyway, 4 little witches over here that you can see. There they are. Get with it, Zelda. So thank you so much. I'm so happy that you are here. Sherry, yes. Sandra has been busting. And Sarah has been coming in. Do I think that it is Sarah Levinson? I don't know. I don't know. I would sure like to know what she was planning on naming her baby. I would love to know that. So anyway, thank you, thank you. Everyone, greetings, hello, and so glad. Yes, this is my study. You can tell I'm starting to itch because I have a little man who's sitting right here beside me watching patiently so he can come in and jump here. And his name is Shaggy Noodle, and he just went off to have a snack, and I think he'll be back. So welcome to everyone. Oh my goodness. I am so glad to have you here tonight. I'll tell you, you're right. Sandra has been talking. She wants to talk more. And for members, members only have a video of talking. And then you Tarot Crime Lab darlings who are here, you have a specific video for you with Sandra. So thank you. Thank you. Nancy, my darling, love, love, love you back. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So there, pardon me, there we go. So we've had a week, haven't we? And there's more coming. So, so there's more coming. So I just want you to know, let's see here, bad juju in Stoughton in a few areas. I got to tell you, I don't know that much about a lot of areas up there. But there was someone, and I'm trying to find them on X again, who has a picture where they said there was a demon on one of the ferries up and around that Stoughton, Canton, maybe somewhere right around that area. And they took a picture, and it looks a lot like that one fellow that is the brother of Prince Albert. And they said he looks like a demon. Now, I don't know how true that is. And I was trying to find it before we came on here, but I wanted to know that. Yeah. Wait a minute here. We've got Sherry D has the mature older woman. Now she's talking about in the reading that I put out maybe a couple of hours ago. I think it's the chief of Stoughton. She worked her way up to the ranks in Stoughton. No way she didn't know what was happening. I agree. Yes. I agree with you there. Yay! For those of you who have ordered those questions, they will be going out starting this evening. So you get them quickly. Give me a second because I forgot to do something. It is Mercury. Hello. I forgot to do something. And I have to do it with you all here because, you know, I can't go without doing it. But a lot of stuff, okay, no, wait a minute, hold on. A lot of stuff in that area, it's north of Bridgewater Triangle. See, I don't know. I wish I knew that area better. I really do. I wish I knew that. I wish I knew it better. Give me a second. So, let me see. Let's see who I've got. So, isn't this nice? Zelda goes live and she does something else. Isn't that beautiful? But there, I've got some words that I want everyone to be aware of for the next few days and probably in the month of December. And I'm going to give you those words in a minute. So I'm going to do this and then you know how it is when you're trying to hurry to get something done? The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. That's right. So here we are. Let me see. Bridgewater is east of Canton. And you better believe it, my darling. Mercury, I'm ready to just this Mercury guy. And we just started on the 26th. But you see, it's going very good for Karen, and it will continue. It will continue. See, I appreciate both of you so much. Both of you. Where did that come from? You see what kind of a day it's been? It has been wild. I woke up today literally thinking that I was talking to someone in my sleep. And I'm going to also tell you what else that I was getting. Because I've been getting a lot about Diddy and his monster parties. There's someone that is trying to come through in an energy reading from one of those monsters. I'm not going to say the real name, please don't in the chat, but I'm not going to say the real name. It's somebody who has lost their life, has been trying to come through, and I'm going to try to figure out who the heck it is. Is Kim his ex-wife? Because I think it is. She's a real pretty lady. Okay, so hold on. It's okay. Just don't mention what the party type is. You know, there's a certain name. I'm going to call it a monster party. So give me a second and I have to respond to somebody. Okay. There. Now I'm free again. Independent me. Free again. Here we are. This now question for you all, because, you know, do I look like somebody that listens to Diddy's music? I know one Usher song, but that doesn't mean anything. This girl, pardon me, Shaggy is sitting here. This young lady, I call her a girl because she's younger than me. Most everyone is younger than me. So this young lady was talking to me about passing away from something that was supposed to be an illness, but it was on purpose, is what she said. So I don't know. I'm going to dig into it because I woke up this morning. I was in a full-blown conversation with her overnight. And believe me, things I tossed and turned overnight. And she was talking about monster parties. She was talking about it was before the baby oil, but she was talking about a particular person that was there whose name was Cece. I don't know who that was, but it's a man. And how Cece, I mean, she's telling me all these things. So I'm going to do a video. I might do it tonight when all the microwaves are down. So I don't think so, Sherry. I don't think so. I think that was her. She was telling me that her people used to call her by her last name. I don't know. And sometimes in this particular situation, it's better that I don't know. But this man's nickname, there was something, and then CC. He's a very big man. He's African American. And he was not part of the party. That's all I know. And she said he got sick. And she said he was away for days. Now, the way that I took it was when she said she was away meant that he was either out of it or unresponsive or something for several days. But the indication is that he is still alive. I think I have a shaggy fur in my lipstick. That's what I get when I kiss the kitties with lipstick on. There we are. I think that's right. I think that's right. So what I'm going to do for many of you, because I see a lot of you in here that are members. Well, you have to be, because you can't talk if you're not members, because I'm, got a lot of these people. Yes. Yes, my dear. Yes. Bravo for doing it that way, because that way, yes. I'm probably going to have to make a members only, because this was very detailed. And I'm going to try to do it tonight if I can connect with her tonight, because I'm going to be up. I've not slept. This was like bizarro. And I think this is why Sandra was trying to come in. And I think Chloe, because we keep seeing dogs in the cloth. So I think Chloe keeps trying to come in. I mean, it's almost that I have opened something and I need to be careful. But there was John trying to come back in. There's Chloe. We've got more to talk. We've got more to talk to. So for all of you, I want to give you some, and then I'm going to tell you a really good story. I should have told the story on Halloween. I should have told this one on Halloween. Forgive me, but I'm going to tell it. We'll just pretend. All right. But before that, oh, hold on. I'm trying to remember. Sure got sick but survived. There was someone who else passed years ago. This person survived. If I get more, but she said he stood with women. Now, I don't know what that means to you, that he stood with women. And she indicates that he's a good guy. So I don't know if he was protecting someone. I don't know. But the bottom line is, she's telling me he stood with women. There is a name like something, and then Cece. He's a big. At first, I thought she was talking about CeeLo Green, but that's not it. He's not it. But she's talking about stood with women. Yes, see, I think he was trying to protect them. He was either with them, came with them, tried to protect. There was a name, something, and then CC. She said he's a big man and just beautiful as in beautiful person inside and out. So I don't know, but I'm going to deep dive. We're going to deep dive into it. I'm good. Thank you so much, TD. This now. Beautiful as in safe, beautiful as in safe, beautiful as in a beautiful personality, as in just a really, really good person. But he's not somebody that had frequented. He went there because of someone else, is what she's telling me. Someone else wanted to go there, and he was there standing with women. So I'm thinking that, and she said the women were models. I don't know. I mean, at this point, they think he has to do with Aaron Carter. I don't know. But he's a good guy. And she's telling me about him. Now, he is still alive. He's still here. But she's in a different realm. But she's telling me she's with others that have passed because of this person. And that they want, oh my God. Jerry, I wonder. I bet that's what it is. I bet that's what it is, because she said that he went and stood with women and that he was like there keeping things safe. I bet that's what it is. I bet that's who it is. So with that being said, what you're now going to start experiencing out of this tarot profiling stuff is that when this happens, and see, I have to come to you guys because you guys know more about these things than I do. I'm still stuck on the Black Dahlia. So, yeah. So we'll think about it. If anybody has a name, if anybody, let me know, because she's telling me that he knows stuff, and I am so sorry. That's Shaggy Noodle and his little furry. Kim was with, I'll be sure, years ago, who almost passed. There was another person who passed around that time. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Big. I need to write this down. Big homie Cece. I bet that's him. Is he African American? Do you know? I mean, do you know anything about him? She says that he is fantastic. I'm going to write this down. Now, this is how sometimes when we need to know things, because you obviously all know. Hold on. Big homie Cece. These names, don't they crack you up? Okay, so wait a second. I keep saying Chris Carter is Jay-Z, but Chris Carter is Biggie, right? I don't know. See, I don't know. But anytime and every time this happens, then, hi, Mystery. Every time this happens, this means more information is going to come out. Now, she was telling me, she was showing me flashes. Now, when I get these, when this stuff starts happening, it runs like a movie, like an old movie right in front of me, and it will like flash. And sometimes it's very hard for me to keep up, but she was flash, flash, flash. And I saw some political figures there, and I can't mention it. I'm going to do a members only video for my darlings. And there we go. I'm sorry, Ira. I don't have any way to stop that, and I apologize, because YouTube kind of does their own thing. Biggie was not Sean Carter. Think that's Jay-Z. I don't know. There's so many of them. So I'm going to work on that one. Okay, so we're going to work on that one. But this young lady had her hair up, and it was slick all the way back to here, and there was like this beautiful cascade of curls back here, and she was very pretty, and she was tall. It looked like she was taller than Diddy. So anyway, before we forget, for those of you who are watching, please do me a favor and subscribe, because when we get to 7,000 subscribers, we will have a giveaway of these two beautiful fin de secours Kipper decks. I'm going to be giving away a video reading with me. And there you go. And that's the idea. So YouTube is not sponsoring this. It is from True Oracle and myself. So there we go. There we go. Yes, Roxy, I think you're right. I think you're right. So we're going to have a lot of fun on that. But now backing up, there are some words that I want you to all remember that I do believe that you are going to hear in the Karen Reed or in the Aiden, could be jointly, because those two now seem like they are meshing. So we've got Sandra Birchmore over here who is meshing with Karen Reed now, who is meshing with Doc Aiden. And speaking of Doc Aiden, we will be transporting you all over to the live that is going to happen from Doc Aiden tonight at 9 p.m. So there we go. Then Jerry. Okay. Well, you know, I've never heard of that. It's all I watch on TV and send messages on my phone. Commercials pop up. I turn up my volume on the phone so I don't miss a word. You're a darling. Thank you for letting everybody know that. Allegedly, oh, I don't want to say that, but we see it. Thank you. Allegedly, I think so. So now, 4 words I believe that you're going to hear regarding Karen Reed and or through Doc Aiden. One is going to be arson. Another one is going to be bribery. Another one, now I'm forgetting. Another one is going to be, now I have to think, and I wrote them down and I can't find them. I'll figure it out and we'll let you know, but at least bribery, arson, and there are 2 more. Kidnap is 1, and compel. So bribery, arson, kidnap, and compel. Those are going to be all words that you're probably going to hear or see in the next coming days. I'm going to tell you this. I hope not. I hope not. But those are words that you should be coming to hear. The month of December is going to be sort of kind of a little wild for our friend Karen Reed, and I think in a good way, because she's got good cards that really show up. And what I'm going to do is a reading for her for the month of December. I'm also going to be doing readings for the month of December on the Crime Time True Oracle, and it's on YouTube. So on the True Oracle Crime Time on True Oracle, I will be doing December readings for the different signs. So we got a lot coming out, a lot going on, and there is a lot of things happening. Now, the other thing, I don't know if you saw these, but there are UFOs that have been hovering over Washington, D.C. since Thanksgiving. And these are not fake videos. They're not fake. You know, I sometimes am skeptic, but it's just too much. Now, I don't believe the videos are fake. I just want you all to be watchmen. Be watchmen, because, you know, sometimes you were just watching a movie. That's what I want you to, you know, we're just watching a movie. And just so you know. And how do you know, how do I know this? Let me tell you a little story. Back in the day when President JFK in the 1960s, early 1960s, was dealing with Cuba, he wanted the citizens of Cuba to pay attention to what he had to say. There was some conflict there. I'm not going to say who it is, whatever, because, you know, YouTube doesn't like it sometimes. They actually had prepared a video that they were going to play for the citizens of Cuba that was from the Mother Mary. Now, this is a part of history, and they were going to do this. Pardon me. And then they decided not to. but that was during, I believe, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and they were trying to get some things taken care of, and they were going to project this message from Mother Mary to tell the people what to do, and then they ended up not doing it. So just so you know, sometimes those things happen, and I don't want fear. I do not get anywhere near fear because there's nothing to fear. Okay, so Cardinal in West Virginia, I live in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, and I swear I've seen things in the sky before. So I believe other beings are here. I believe that too. I believe that too. I believe that. I remember, I got to tell you this. I remember, I'm going to date myself. That's all right. You all know that I'm from the 1780s. And when I remember where we lived, I mean, I remember everything. Now, hold up your hand or put a 1 in the chat, rather. That's better. If you remember at 11 o'clock or midnight, when they would play the Star Spangled Banner and they would show all the flags, and then the television would go off and it would do the white noise until whenever, like 5 or 6 a.m. Do you remember that? I do. And you want to know what else was really freaky? My sister. And this is before, this is the same house as we were in when President Kennedy was unalived. It was my sister would go down in the summertime. Now, this never happened during school, but in the summertime, my mother would hear the TV and she would go downstairs and my sister would be staring into the TV, watching the white noise, and would sit there for hours watching. Now, I don't know if you have ever watched that movie, White Noise. No, I'm not going there. No, I'm bothered by that movie. Signs, I was bothered by too. Oh my gosh, the birthday party on Signs. No. When I saw that movie, wow, just wow. We were at a theater and I'm like, oh my heck, that birthday party and Signs. Now, I'm going to tell you what, I love Mel Gibson. He's my favorite patriot. Oh boy, I love him. Yeah, gives me the creeps, that kind of stuff. And I'm in this business. Hello. So back to President Kennedy. I remember my mother sitting like on the edge of her chair like this, watching the television, crying, and the phone was ringing. And my mom was getting on the phone. I didn't understand, but I kept seeing this. And of course, everything was black and white. And I kept seeing this, this Dallas stuff and, all this other. Oh my gosh. I'll never forget that. And then little John standing there saluting. Oh, wow. That was really something. That was really something. So anyway, so we now know that Hank Brennan, the one they're calling Clark Kent, I don't think he's Clark Kent. I'm sorry. That's just in my opinions. Yes, I'm going to tell you that I know what, be here. Yeah. Yeah. But Hank Brennan, in my opinion, is a wuss. Now, that's my opinion. Because they hyped everybody up. Oh, when Hank Brennan comes in here, he's going to eat everybody's lunch. I got to tell you something. Ever since Hank Brennan has been on board, all we have seen is a plethora of typos misunderstandings, misfilings, not filing certain documents with Rule 17 motions, not filing them correctly, not filing the what? And then calling Bates stamp, it is a bait, capital B, no S, a bait stamp. And then we see little Lolly. Lolly, he is in a bad way. Poor Lolly, sitting there like a little bump on a log. He's mad. And I'm going to tell you something. If something goes bye-bye, if this goes in a very wrong way, Lolly will be the first one to stand up and say, oh, see, I didn't want to do this anyway. Lolly looks, he's mad. He is just mad. And just, I want to say this. Welcome to each and every one of you who are watching and coming in. I'm Lady Zelda. I'm a tarot profiler. I'm the host of Seeing Crime. I am not a lawyer. I am not a doctor. I am a tarot profiler, and I'm just here to share opinions about what the cards say. And that's it. That's it. That's all we're doing. We like to talk these things out. That's what it's all about. Now, the fact that, and you can see, he, here we go, Miss Sherry. Lady Zelda called it out. When Brennan and Ianetti talked, Brennan didn't talk to Lolly. Yep. Yeah. Those two are already locking horns. I will tell you that. That's the way it is. Already locking horns. Wait. Just wait. And remember when I said, oh, get Mr. Reed up on the stand. Brennan will be sad if he does that. He will regret the day that he puts Mr. Reed up on the stand. He will regret, well, there's no reason to put him on the stand now because Auntie Bev, can you believe she actually did something right? Auntie Bev actually turned down, she denied getting, can you imagine what Hanky Panky is thinking now? Auntie Bev. But see, she has to go by the law because attorney Liza Little, she brought it home the other day. She brought it home. And Auntie Bev says no. That's absolutely right. She said no. You didn't file this correctly. It doesn't look right. You didn't give me enough reason to give it to him. Sorry, child. Sorry, pal. Sorry about your luck. So, you know what? What reason do they have to put Mr. and Mrs. Reed on the stand now? None. Because there is none. And Karen was Karen was right when she said this was a fishing expedition. Well, I can tell you what, there are definitely some largemouth bass around, and there are some crappies there too. So there's, believe me, my dear Iris said he didn't even write Auntie Bev's favorite case, Lampron. That's right. That's right. And I'm going to say kudos. That's right, Sherry. Kudos to Miss Eliza Little. She did an amazing job. She brought it home. She seemed to be more confident. Yes, she did. I didn't hear her voice shaking as it did during the last trial. Yeah, well, she knew there was a lot riding on it. But I'm going to tell you something. You watch, I continue to see that there's not going to be a trial. However, if there is one, okay, because Karen is going to be acquitted. She's not going to be found guilty. And all of this evidence, you think that the crash daddies have the evidence now, then just wait. The crash daddies are waiting to come back. And now Monday, I believe we have another hearing. And I believe is this the one with Dr. Russell coming in? I don't know. Is it Monday? I don't know. But she brought it home. You're right, Jerry. She found her groove. She certainly did. She did. I'm going to tell you, I don't see how there can be. I'm going to, it's like Mrs. Little. Yes. Yeah, I think she does. And Iris says, I don't see how there can be with paying hanky janky so little. I'm going to tell you why. They don't think they need him long. You know the reason that they continue at this? Because their egos, and they are, in my opinion, allegedly, supposedly so corrupt that when you're in that mindset, you have to just prove it. It's just like, oh, I have to. I mean, I can see them doing this. We just have to do this. We have to do it. We have to find a way. We have to do this because they know. Karen, acquittal means look out for the rest of you. Look out, because the CW doesn't have to. I'm going to tell you what, I can actually see the feds coming in and taking over that DA office. I can see that. We are just waiting. And see, Meatball thought he was too cool for school, and thinking that if he started deleting his texts and probably emails and all those other things, that, oh, okay, well, they butt dialed me, and they, how long do you think these stories? And first of all, he thinks that Auntie Bev is going to save his crack. Well, I got another thing for them. We've got attorney Mark Betterow that is asking for the same thing, but he's asking another judge. And I'm going to tell you, when these judges see this sort of thing, it is going to be a misuse of justice, in my opinion. But just remember, January is coming. There's a new administration coming. And believe me, when that new administration hits and there's new people over the FBI, new people over CIA, new people over these ingrates, I'll let you know who to write to. I'll let you know who to contact, because they're not going to put up with it. And the same thing for the Delphi case. Definitely. Oh, I believe that. And you know what, my Meatball's getting a pair of silver bracelets. But see, I can't even talk. I'm excited. Hi, Wildsman's mom. I love that. The low amount was all the McAlberts could scrape up for the defense prosecution lawyer. Probably. Sherry says, Brennan, whose first appearance stated, I'll turn everything over. Yeah, he did not. As his last appearance, he stated he looked at Morrissey's phone. That's right. So, in my opinion, what does that make him? A big fat liar. I'm going to tell you the things that you're going to start hearing as well. I'm not a lawyer, but I do understand this. And in my opinion, you'll probably start hearing this, and it is called malicious prosecution. Malicious prosecution. It's when you weaponize the law against someone to break them. Massachusetts is a beautiful state. I've been there a few times. Boston, I have to laugh because, I'm used to driving easy does it, not in Boston. Hello. You go through those rondette things, whatever they're called. We call them roundettes here. But you go through those things, and the rule is if you look, you lose. Because if you look at somebody, that's almost an indication like, yeah, you can go ahead of me. Wrong. I learned that the hard way. almost got creamed a couple of times. The rotaries, thank you, my darlings. They call them a roundette here. Rotary, roundabout, yes, yes, that's what they are. And believe me, when, here it's kind of like, you see somebody else coming, oh no, no, no. Boston is like, you look, you lose, goodbye. And I'm like, I'm not driving up here anymore. Sorry, not driving. New York was another thing. A lot of emotion in those people when they're driving. But right side prevails. That's right. That's right, my darling. Right side prevails. So, pardon me. Now, we've got a lot to look forward to for December. We have a trial for Turtle Boy. Is it Turtle Boy's trial or is he a hearing? It might be Turtle Boy's hearing on Monday, because I know that we have something on Monday and then we have another one. We have a hearing for Matthew Farwell. We will not see that because it is a federal hearing. But I can tell you this, my darlings, he's going to be singing because he's facing he's never going home. Never. No, never. He will be there and rot there. Good. He's never going home. And I can tell you what, his brother, he's probably a big scheissel in his pants, right? He is. He's crapping bricks because he's probably next. There's going to be more arrests with Sandra Birchmore case. Good, good, good. There's more arrests coming, and she will tell us more as time goes on. Part of her energy is she keeps going over her situation because she cannot fathom someone doing that, especially someone that she loved. She cannot fathom that. Thank you, my darling. A motion to suppress for Turtle Boy is on Monday. And I believe that December 12th or 11th is the one for, I think it's 12th is the one for Dr. Russell. She is the dog bite doctor for the defense. I think that's going to be heard. And I really feel, okay, Tuesday the 10th is the Farwell hearing. Okay, so see, we've got a lot cooking, and we're going to know a lot before the end of this year. I think, pardon me, I think we're going to hear from the judge this week on the ruling where they're going to be, and I'm not so sure they're going to get it for April 1st. I'm just going to tell you that because I'm going to tell you why. I think Auntie Bev is sick of it. All these Rule 17 hearings and all these, she worked yesterday. She should have been in her cabin, in her cottage. So, yeah, there is something on the 11th. It's either the 11th or the 12th. So December is going to be a busy month. We're gonna have to take care of things. But I want you to know a lot is going to get done. But for some reason, right now, if she signed off right now, I'm not so sure she's going to give them until April 1st. I think at this point, she figures that what they have is what they have. I mean, how much more bloody time does Hank Brennan need? I mean, he admitted, right? He admitted that the last time he was in court, when we first saw him, he never even saw the hearings, didn't review anything. What? I think, in my opinion, the reason he didn't review all that stuff is because if he did, he would have to make a decision about what to do. And that is toss it to the curb, hanky panky. Because, I mean, hello. Hanky Janky needs to get off his buttola and familiarize himself with that case. Yes, he does, Irish. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So there's a lot of things coming. And then I think Karen is going to have a very good Christmas, and the new year is going to be good. Everything is going to start coming together. I don't like to say fall into place. I believe it's going to be coming together. So we've got a lot happening here now. I believe before the 20th also, the 20 may want to mark this down, before the 20th of December, we're going to hear some things coming out on Enrique Delgado Garcia. We may not like it, but we're going to hear some things coming out. Now, the other thing I want to say is I have a lot of faith in Josh Levy. He's working to clean some things up. He had to step in for somebody that was janky and corrupt. He took over, and he is doing a lot for this journalism intimidation. And I wish to heck he would look at Turtle Boy's case, and then he arrested somebody for having an animal crime, which was dog fighting. And there's been some other things. Julie wants to know, when is Mercury retrograde over? Not bloody soon enough, but it will be over, I believe, the third week of December. And then we go into another shadow period. So the shadow period goes through and probably after the 1st of January. But, it's been a little bit where I just had to hold. Today was the worst day of it for me. But, when I was younger, I didn't even know anything about Mercury retrograde. So we'll make it through. I'm more interested in all these UFOs and DC. What is that going to? I want to see all that. Look, my dear darlings, if you would have told me 6 or 7 years ago, 10 years ago, that I would be on YouTube talking about this stuff, I would be like, right. If you told me 6 years ago, everything that has happened so far, we've been through, look what we've been through as a world, as a country, as states, as individuals, and we're making it because we all come together. I would have said, you all are just out of your bloody mind. No, that's not going to happen. Now, I'm thinking, oh, well, they're flying over DC. Okay, well, I wonder, and I got to tell you this, there's a golf course back of this condo that my son has. There's a golf course back here. And one night, he saw all these huge, great big lights coming down over top of the golf course and just hovering there and speeding away. And there was a time when he first moved in here and I moved him in, that it was wild as heck. I wish I would have taken some video. But you know how when there's something huge coming and the trees like crunch out of the way? Well, all of a sudden, there's this, because we have this tornado siren. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes hearing these siren stuff scares me worse. In some ways, not really, but in some ways, I just hate to hear those sirens going off. God, I'm just like, oh gosh, talk about clutching my pearls. Hello. So all of a sudden, this tornado siren goes off. Now, hold on. There's no weather. It wasn't even cloudy. There's no weather. There's no nothing. There ain't no nothing going on. And then all of a sudden, my son's outside the front door. It was early in the morning, like 6 a.m. Everything just got stone quiet. And you heard this crunching, like shoo, shoo, crunch, crunch, crunch. And you saw the trees over top one of the other condo buildings, and there wasn't anybody there cutting them down or anything like that. And you could see the birds start flying up, and this tornado siren goes off. He runs and gets me, and I'm looking, and I'm serious. I actually thought we were going to see one of these great big lizard, monkey, something or other come from behind that. I mean, the farm over here, the cows were mooing, things. I mean, it was scaring everything. All of a sudden, just stops. He looks at me and I said, well, good luck here. Good luck here, buddy. And then the you know what hit that locked us everybody down. And so hello. But yeah, those things are like scary. Hello. But here's been some weird stuff. There's been some weird stuff here. In the condo here, we hear screams constantly. In this screams, like blood-curdling B-movie screams happening. Yeah, Bigfoot would have been. I actually like Bigfoot. Okay. Oh, I didn't know what that meant. And then I saw the green sky. What the, my neighbors, come on, girl. Yeah, green skies. I'm from Ohio, and when there's a green sky, take cover. Look out. It's coming. Karen, do you think now that Betterow has filed for Morrissey's email records, do you think the investigation that Levy was doing into the corruption, that Levy might be doing a document dump again? I think he probably may already be planning on doing it. I also think that he probably sort of kind of knows about this, but he's watching. I can tell you that right now. That's one thing about the feds. That is one thing about the feds. They watch. They wait and they watch. They have patience of Job. It's not this, okay, we've got to make a arrest. We've got to get a caller. We're going to jump the gun. We're going to miss some things. They have the patience of Job. They're going to wait until they have them all. Believe me, darling, it's going to be like the Wild West, because it is going to be roundup time. Watch and see. It'll be roundup time. Yep, that's it. So let me see. TD wants to know if our graveyard is under if a graveyard is under the condo. No, I think someone was unalived in this building in a unit above here. The condos are on the bottom and the townhomes are up top. So they're like split, and then there's a, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But when he first moved in here, oh, here comes Sammy. This is Sam. Say hello. Sammy, the mother. She's mommy's girl. When he first moved in here, we constantly heard it. The condo above us was empty. They were remodeling it. And then there was a guy that moved in short term, extremely short term, moved out right away. Then we heard this blood curdling screams. I mean, unnerving, to the point where one night my son comes out and he goes, "Hey Mom, I just got to ask you this. Should I go upstairs?" And I'm like, "No, we should call the cops, because we don't know who, what, where, when is upstairs. You don't want to get in there into a mess. This is something the police should handle." So it calmed down a little bit. And then the next thing you know, it was done. So the next day I saw them remodeling up there. And hello, my angel. I saw them remodeling, and I went upstairs, and it was the owner, because he rents it out to college kids and people who are here temporarily, blah, blah. And I said, what's with the screams? And he backed up and he looked at me and goes, you're hearing screams? I said, oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're bad. And he said, I've heard that, but I just thought these kids were just fooling around. I said, oh no, my darling, this is screaming. And I said, to the point where it's unnerving. And I want you to know that I would be working on the psychic line. Marie can tell you, I would be working on the psychic line, and I would have a call, and these poor people would hear all this noise and these screams to the point where they would think, holy mackerel, what the heck has she got going on there? And I would have to say, oh, I'm sorry, it's the neighbors upstairs. But seriously, and then all of a sudden it stopped. It just went away. But the one of the nights that I read for Chloe, I was sitting by my desk and working on some things, and I heard the water turn on in the bathroom. There, we've seen things. There was a young lady from Australia that was staying here for a little while. She was over here visiting friends or whatever. She came to stay with us for a little while, and then she went back home to Australia. And she wore black all the time, like I do. Hello. Somebody asked me the other day, why do you wear black all the time? Because they said, black, what they had a saying, something about black, something about black doesn't attract money or doesn't attract, I don't know what it was, but it was kind of funny. So anyway, I walked out through the living room and past the kitchen and glanced in the kitchen, and I saw this dark figure standing by the refrigerator. I thought it was her. Next thing you know, she comes out of her bedroom and kind of comes up behind me. And I looked at her and said, were you just in the kitchen? And she's like, no, I've been in my bedroom the whole time. So we've been kind of seeing, but that pretty much is gone now. I mean, there for a while, I was seeing some harrowing things, as in a hand wrapping around the bathroom door, the cats going freaky scary. And we have my darling here. Look at this. Look at this. Welcome. Thank you so much, my sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. So that's great. Thank you. I love it when you guys are here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So anyway, so that's what's going on now. Do we have anything else to talk about with these cases? Otherwise, if not, it is story time. And I'll be glad to tell you a story unless y'all want to know something more coming about. I want you to know how much I love being on here with you. I really do. I'm going to start going. I keep saying this. I actually literally am working on time management. Seriously. Because it takes a lot to do this sort of thing. And I don't even write the scripts. I mean, hello. I mean, I don't write scripts. I just do whatever. But I'm going to go also start going live on the Crime Time True Oracle, and I'm going to start reading cards for everybody, and we'll start doing that sort of thing as well. I don't know what days, I don't know what times yet. I'm trying to get, but I actually have to start implementing a time management thing now, in which I set alarms. If you can believe this, I have to set alarms on my phone, because when the alarm goes off, I know I have to spend 15 minutes, doing either laundry, or I have to spend 15 minutes cleaning the kitchen, or if my bathroom looks like a crime scene, I have to spend 15 minutes to do that, blah, blah, blah. So there we go. So I'm here. This is my life. And thank you for being a part of it. Thank you, my dear Jerry. I appreciate you all so much. Gosh, I love you guys. Okay. I'd like to know more about the JonBenet case. I'm going to tell you something. I'm a good friend of one of the previous lawyers on this case. And there are things there, and I can tell you this, when JonBenet's brother sued CBS for libel, CBS ponied up. They got their checkbooks out and they wrote him a hefty check. And that JonBenet Ramsey case went sideways very, very quickly. That lawyer was a very nice man. And it used to be in the old days, he would call me and he'd say, at 3 o'clock in the morning, hello. And he would say, hey there, gal, what are you doing? Well, usually at 3 a.m., I have my head on the pillow and I'm dreaming about everything else but talking to you, my darling. And then he would laugh. So there we are. So that's the deal. So, Sherry, I would love, love, love for you to look into the Please, Please Drake Moore case out of Idaho. Law enforcement crossover with, oh, I have heard about that. And yes, I will do that because I'm going to read on the Idaho 4 case because most people don't realize there's so much that has not been able to be brought out and that there's a backstory. A full hour and quarter earlier. Okay. Sleuthy goosey spreadsheet. It's there. Yeah. I don't know. It's okay though. I love it when you all talk amongst yourself. That's great. All right, let's see what this is. It's a chiropractor accused of red rum. Of another chiropractor. And it is a crossover, right? Red rum, right? Been there. Kitty fur, hello? Lipstick and kitty fur is not a good blend, pardon me. She gets up here and she's so happy that she's sitting with mommy that it's like, I think I'll just shed a pound. I could make a sweater with what she's shedding right now, and it's all landing in my lipstick. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's what it is. Irish, oh my God, the Idaho 4 case is so crazy and bad. It is. It is. Some of that I may have to put on members only as well. Some of these, I mean, that's right, Sammy? Mommy's girl. Sammy is old. She lost one of her front teeth, which, bless her heart, she's getting along just fine. And she's getting along just fine. And, you know, that happens to the best of us when we get old. And I can tell you this, the other night we were playing, but she was over it and mommy was still playing. And she latched on to me, and believe me, it felt like she had all of her teeth. Right? Yes, mommy's girl. Okay. Hello. Didn't they make that Idaho 4 case on the guy as blown off pal of the group? I think so. He was indirectly connected and was driving. I don't know, but you know, he's facing the unaliving death penalty. That is bad. So, yeah. Irish, thank you, but you're the one that can wear the red lipstick, girl. Thank you. I love red lipstick. Just want you to know. Lady Zelda, the case doesn't make sense. Either Ellie botched the case or the wife hired someone to take out her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll look into that. We'll look into that. Okay, so did you hear about the baby Garnet case solved by 2 girls' DNA on? I think I heard something about that, but I did not hear. That's amazing, isn't it? That is amazing when people like this, and I've been reading a lot about where YouTubers are actually solving cases now because they're actually going out and I mean, listen, some of you guys, I am so impressed. And I mean, I see a lot of you in these lawyer, like Melanie Little and all these. I love Melanie, by the way. I think that she's just adorable, beautiful inside and out. And I'm hearing that. I just think that is just bloody well amazing. Now there are some of them that, but a lot of these are just, they're doing it to help because let's face it, a lot of these cases, law enforcement, they just don't have the manpower. Seriously. That's the wild thing. Aw, Miss Jules, they get old. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. I don't remember when she was born. She's probably 11 now, I think. Oh, wow. That is wild. The girl's grandmother. I think that I heard about that. Jules, I am too. I am not convinced that it's him at all. I'm just not. And you know what? What's so frustrating? Just like the Delphi case, these judges, because I'm going to tell you, thank God that Karen has the dream team that she does, because I'm going to tell you, if she had a public defender, she'd be locked up. Because these judges are so tough, and you're only as good as the judge. Delphi was very bad. Very, very bad. Let me see here. Same person with Drake Moore case has invested her life with the BK case. Yeah. Yeah. Irish. Yeah. I'm just not there. You can't convince me. You can't convince me that this one person was able to come in there and do all this horrific damage. In, out, boom. No, there's other things. Oh, wait. I know who the content creator is, but I've taught over the last, don't name other channels. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But I mean, there's so many out there. There really is. Really. She'd be toast. That's right, Julie. She really would be toast. And I think about me. I think about you guys. Think about this. Who has 5 million? I know she's getting up to the $7 million mark before, if there is a trial, before she's going to be hovering at the 7 million. I mean, I wouldn't have that. There's no way. I'd probably end up with a public defender. I know many people who spend $75,000, $100,000, $150,000 mortgaging their house, and then they still lose. And it's horrific financially, just like my gal, Marianne from Virginia, who was falsely accused of unaliving that gentleman she was dating. They found out that it was his wife and his wife's lover. But she's financially ruined. She spent every dime, lost her house, lost everything. Thank God for her sister and her family. Pardon me. And I mean, she has a good job now and she's starting over. But all her savings is gone, all her retirement. She's going to be working now for the rest of her life. I mean, I met her when I was working on the Psychic Friends Network. Hello. She would have retired in 5 years. Not anymore. She's got to work now. That's sad. The Brian Camp case, pardon me, I was there. I was in tears over that man. Those little angels, those little girls, just thinking about them upstairs. Bless them. Yes. Question. No pressure. May I tell the chat the creators who invested hours and hours to the BK and Drake Moore case? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Thank you for asking. That's nice. Thank you for asking. The Delphi case, thank you, Beach Girl, was crazy, but the right man was convicted. Richard Allen is guilty. I think a lot of people thought that, but there's so much evidence that I keep seeing that there was someone else that was involved. There's some things, another woman that was involved. There's some things there I'm not so convinced about. I'm sorry. I mean, we can always talk about it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So let me see. Well, thank you very much, Sherry. I really appreciate that. Okay, my darlings. It is story time before we run out of time, because I want to make sure, and I just have a question. Just put a number 1 in the chat. If when Turtle Boy comes on and his little theme song comes on, I mean, I know nobody dances to mine. That's funny. But when his little, I know all the words to Melanie Little's theme song. Okay? Sorry, I sing along. But the funny thing is Turtle Boy's theme song, when his intro is what I mean. Who else is dancing? Who else is tick, tick, boom? Who else? Put a number 1. So, because I'm not going to make you all miss that, because I certainly don't want to miss it. Yes, I love Melanie's opening song. Look at this angel. Look at this little stinker girl. Okay, it's story time, Sammy. It's story time. We have to listen, Angel. There's a 1 in the chat. Okay, here we are. Think of this. It is Halloween season. It is St. Augustine, one of the oldest cities in the United States. It is the gloomiest October that I've ever known. It is this. Oh, you want to know what's really weird? I just thought I saw someone, no kidding. I don't know. Mark this. I'm going to mark it right here. Mark this. Just a few seconds ago, I thought I saw someone walk through this door. Did anybody else maybe see that? That is wild. That is not even conceivable. And I just thought I saw something like a come through that door. Okay. All right. Gloomy October, St. Augustine, Florida. I was in the JCs. The JCs are like for anyone under 30 years old that helps you with business, and it's a group that you can get together and work on other people's businesses and all this other. I lived there. I worked as a card reader. I was pardon me in the JCs. Mommy needs to take some allergy medicine, as some people are going to sit up around her neck. Let me know, TD, if you see it. So there was an old abandoned building on St. George Avenue, I think is what it was. There used to be, it was like an old hotel there. There used to be a Pizza Hut in the bottom, and they went out. It was a monastery in the 1950s, and they had all of this beautiful hand-painted tile all over the walls. They walked back again. Did you see it? Did you see it? Oh my gosh. All right. Give us a timestamp, anybody that can give us a timestamp. And then, because I want to see it, because it was like very quickly. Wow. It was a gray figure. Thank you, TD. She's a mean girl, but I love her. She's a mean girl, just like her mommy. So, and I'm sorry, I keep itching, but it's like, hello, my goodness, this girl. Back to the story. So the idea was the JCs were going to go in and go to a haunted house. And if you ever want to go to a JC's haunted house, I think that sometimes they are the best. And we're going to open it to the public. We were going to be there, all this other stuff. This building had 3 levels. It did not have any running water. It didn't have any electricity. And the fire marshal came in and said, if you people start lighting candles and so forth, I'm going to kick your butts out because you'll burn the place down. But we were told not to go on the 3rd floor. And you know what happens when you tell me not to go on the 3rd floor, because the fire marshal said he thought it was haunted and didn't want anybody to get hurt. Well, guess what? But they had it blocked off. So some funny things were happening. Now, I had this camera back then, didn't have cell phones. I had a camera. I ran 100 ASA film in it, so it would pick up different things. Wildly enough, all these actors, everybody was dressed up, and I was the gypsy card reader. So when you came in, you could pay $5 to get a card reading, and someone had this wild idea because the flashlight stopped working, and they were running these cords through electrical cords hundreds of feet, at least to light up the way people could see, and they were just misfunctioning. So somebody came into my room, and I had this little table, and there were some drapes up on the wall, and someone came in and said, Zelda, you can't work in the dark. Well, that was very true. You have to have, so they lit 2 long, tall candles. They were pretty secure. I mean, the bases were pretty secure, so I wasn't too frightened of that. And I had a desk there, so it seemed pretty good. And I had a fire extinguisher, so I was okay. So these 2 young ladies come in, and this one, already scared to death of me. And I'm like, you don't have to be scared. I'm not going to tell you anything. I know you're going to tell me when I'm going to die. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, what do you want to know? Sorry, Sammy. I'm like, no, what do you want to know? So she relaxed a little bit, and they're sitting there. And she was so scared. She was shaking, scared that I was going to tell her something that she didn't want to hear. I kid you not. All of a sudden, a piece of her hair, like on the side, started raising up like this. Just a piece of her hair, like this. And I could see it, and I didn't want to say anything. And her girlfriend looked over at her, and she's like, oh my God, don't you feel that? And she's like, no, what? And she's like, your hair is... And those girls... You talk about, they were flipping out. And just then I said, sit down. Everything is fine. I'll have one of the guides come and get you. You don't have to worry. And you can go back out. They'll give you your money back. You can go out. The place isn't haunted. In the moment that I said the place isn't haunted, one of the draperies from the window flew up and flew down, and the window was not open. The windows were nailed shut. I thought those girls, I never heard B-movie screaming like they did, guttural, high-pitched screaming to the point where I thought, oh God, please tell me I'm not going to have a lot of these people. So they finally go and they leave. Another couple come in. They sit down. Hi, we want to know. We're thinking about getting married. Okay, here we go. Here are the cards. And at that time, I was reading Cartomancy only, no tarot. So I just had my playing cards. Just as she said, I want to know if he'll ever cheat on me. And he's sitting there grinning. One of my cards flies off the table. And it's a 3 of spades. I'll never forget that, because the 3 of spades is a third-party interference or having an affair or something like that. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at me like he's sitting back like this going. I said, don't worry. If I knew any secrets, I wouldn't tell them anyway. And he's like this. All of a sudden, one of the candles just blow out. Done. Gone. And so this continued to happen. We were open for 7 nights. He probably was already having an affair. I don't think they even got married. So anyway, all of these things started just in my room alone. Other people that were going through all of these things were having so many problems. So a bunch of us got together and we decided that Halloween night at midnight when we closed, we were going to go up on the 3rd floor that was prohibited, that the fire marshal told us not to go. And no, I didn't listen. And I went anyway. So I had my camera. I went up with this guy whose name was Chuck. Oh, he was so cute. Chuck and I went up. We were elected to go up. He was the brave one. He didn't care. I was the one who was, and believe me, back then, I was really, I'm in one of the biggest paranormal cities in the whole world. And there was so much energy and activity and all this other stuff. And this is all I ever did. And so it was crazy. So we go up. We have to go through this gate, and the steps are steep. They're wide and they're steep, and we had to go up. And I'm clicking pictures. Now, this whole time I'm clicking pictures. And we go up, and all of a sudden, this heat, like horrible, like you open up an oven door and the heat came at me. But the heat was so hot that, I immediately, my face started perspiring, and it's like I couldn't breathe. And I told him, I said, Chuck, my gosh, what's going on? Do you feel that? And he's like, no, I don't feel anything. So we get up past the steps. Hi there, Beverly. We get up past the steps, and we're in the 3rd floor of this former hotel. And it smelled like ash. So this building had turrets on each side, those big round where you could go up into the like the top little room, like a medieval looking turrets on each side. They had turrets. So we decided we were going to go down one side, and then we went down the other. So one side we went down, and we heard this. It was just horrible stuff we would hear. Banging, and there was no reason it would be, because there was no windows open or anything. And we go up through to the turret, and we go up to the top. And just then, that turret was facing the oldest Catholic church in America. And it was beautiful and had this little town square. and the clouds were like, it was one of those, it was definitely the B movie night. It was one of those, it was breezy and there was nobody around and everything else. And just then the bell for the Catholic Church starts chiming 12 times. I couldn't have had it any more perfect for this type of setting, quite frankly. So I just stood there and I thought, I need to just absorb this because this is the coolest moment that I've had in a long time. So it was done. We go downstairs. Just as we go downstairs, we hear footsteps following us. And it was dark. And sometimes I would click on the flash so we could see. We would close our eyes, click on the flash. And if you can imagine, we just open and you could see. But our eyes were adjusting, and he was mad. He was cussing. He was like, oh, that girl, my brother's up here. He's trying to scare us. And I said, I don't think anybody's up here. We would know that. I don't think so. We heard these heavy footsteps following us. So we went to this other side. And I mean, this place was like 40,000 square feet. It was huge. And as we were going to this other side, I felt this intense heat again. And then we saw where that third floor on that part had been burned out. And it was not really safe, but we were up there anyway because there were boards down that had been charred. And this had been there since the turn of the century. I mean, nobody ever cleaned it up. Nobody ever did anything. They just closed it off and they didn't use it. So there was this door that was standing there and it had been painted red, but it was all charred. And we tried to open the door and couldn't open the door. So we went up through to the other turret. We start hearing screaming on this, just this faint screams and more than one person. And I told him, I said, this is a little weird. And he starts getting scared. We come down and these heavy footsteps came right behind us. And we couldn't run because we couldn't see, and I wasn't going to run anyway, but he was starting to freak out. And he was like pulling me through there. And I'm like, let's just stay calm. Let's stay calm. And I turned around and I said, okay, hold your eyes, close your eyes. And I started taking pictures as we were leaving. We finally got to that point where it was not burned and I did not feel that heat anymore. And I was so affected by the heat that we got down. We had to go these huge stairs. We finally got to the bottom and I came out and they wanted to call an ambulance. My face was blood red and my hair was like matted to my head. Some of the parts of the end of my hair were singed. It looked like I had been through a fire. And they were giving me water and all this stuff, and it was just wild. And they kept saying, we're going to call an ambulance. And I'm like, no, how are we going to call an ambulance? I'm going to get in trouble. We were not supposed to be up there to begin with. I'll go home and grin and bear it. That's just the way it is. So we all decided that next day we were going to meet for lunch, and we're going to talk about how much money that we made at the JC haunted house. And we were going to, we were going to donate it to a worthy cause. And I think it was some children's home or something there in St. Augustine. So I went to Publix grocery store and I had the film developed, and I went early enough before lunch. And finally, after, however long, an hour or something like that, I went back and the guy in the photo booth said, lady, if I were you, I'd just throw these out. Doesn't look like anything came out. And I said, that's okay. He goes, you sure you want them? And I said, oh yeah, I want them. That's fine. He said, well, I made you duplicates. And I said, well, that's good. That's fine. And he goes, I'm not even going to charge you for them. I said, you're not? And he goes, no, they look horrible. They didn't even come out. And I said, oh, okay. So I didn't even look at them. I drove across the Lions Bridge. We went to wherever fish hut it was, and we sat outside. And by then I had recovered and, looking a lot better. And I said, oh, by the way, you guys, I got the photos. You want to see them? So I get them out, and there were pictures of hands, like a hand down by someone's side, that these white streaks were coming through it. And there was a picture of a face coming through. And there was a mirror there, and I had caught an angle of the mirror with somebody that I knew was standing on the steps looking in the mirror. And lo and behold, there was someone else looking in the mirror, but there was no one else there. All of these pictures. So I gathered them all up, and I gave the second set to the secretary of the JCs. I was amazed. Then I went back home to Tennessee, showed my grandmother, showed my mother, and they were astonished. I don't even know what happened to them. I wish I still had them now, because those were original, authentic pictures. And that, I just thought that was so cool. But here's the other part of this story. A couple of days later, Chuck calls me and he said, hey, I think we need to do a little bit of research on this place. And I said, I think you're right. We went down to the Historical Society, and then we went down to there. They had this genealogy, blah, 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 blah. The story goes, I don't know, I'm just saying, the story goes that there was a gentleman that basically, he did not like children. And he and his wife had already had like 5 or 6 children. And she announced that she was pregnant again. It was a hotel, kind of like a Marriott. It was a chain hotel, I think. It was very exclusive for people who had money. And he booked a room for he and his wife on one end of the hotel by the turret, and he booked a room on the other end of the hotel for his children. Well, they were larger hands, Sherry. This was a large hand. So the story goes that this one night, there was a fire that started. He had started the fire, and everybody was screaming, and the wife/mother ran to the other side of the hotel, went into the room with the children, and they all perished. And the man left. That was the story of that. So since then, they had tried putting a Pizza Hut in there later. And the people, the workers that had been working on the building and renovating it, because they were there were like shops on the downside or on street level, and then you walk to the side and you could go up into the hotel, what it used to be a hotel. And so they put down their tools one day and just left. That was it. They just put them down. Said, we're not doing this anymore. Put them down. Because they said that, their tools were being picked up. They were getting hurt. People were getting pushed. So they just left. Pizza Hut opened, I think, for a very short period of time, and then they closed up. There were some other things that throughout the years that had gone in there. There was this monastery place, and then there was another little hotel that went in there, and they just all kept going out because there was so much that would happen. I don't know what's there now. I haven't been to St. Augustine in years. I'd love to go down and see. But that, I'll never forget that. I just thought that was one of the coolest Halloweens that I have ever been and existed through. And the fact that that church bell just rang, that I mean, you could not have had it. It was the coolest. And it was one of those big bells that was like, it didn't ding, it donged, if you know what I mean. It was that real deep dong, you know, that real, oh gosh, it was so cool. So anyway, that was the St. Augustine, one of the stories in St. Augustine. There was another story because I used to go out walking at night, you know, 2, 3 a.m. Nobody was around. I mean, it was a tourist place, and it certainly, I wouldn't do it now, but then I felt pretty safe. I lived around there. I knew pretty much, you know, people there. So I lived close to the city center, so I would just walk around at night. Well, there was a legend, I'm just going to say that, a legend, because you know that there are so many there is a huge cat population in St. Augustine. I don't know, but there is. Every time you walk around the corner, there's a cat somewhere. And you could hear this cello music coming through the city center, and it would just like lightly billow through the city center. No matter where you were, you could hear it. And finally, one day I walked, because they used to have some pretty cool tarot shops down there, and you know, the metaphysical, nobody ever hears of metaphysical anymore. I mean, I grew up with metaphysical and telepathy and, you know, all these words that you don't hear anymore. Well, they had this metaphysical shop on the square, and I went in there and I said, hey, I just want to know something. When I take a walk, I hear this cello music. What is that about? And they said it is a woman that feels that there was so much devil energy that was in St. Augustine. I don't know. I didn't feel that. But she said if she played the cello throughout the evening, throughout the night to the morning hours, it would keep the devil away. Must be working. I don't hear of anybody being a devil there. So anyway, that was St. Augustine, but there was a lot that went on in St. Augustine when I lived in St. Augustine. I don't know if you all remember those the Florida University moiders. That's where I lived when I worked with one law enforcement officer, because they couldn't find out what it was. And it was somebody that kept going into these girls' dorm rooms, and they were unaliving. And University of Florida, Gainesville. And so I worked on the case, and I told him, I said, the guy who's doing this, his name is Walter. No, there's no Walter. You're full of it. Walter, that's what it is. They got to digging, and they found out that the maintenance man who was able to go through, a custodian, let's say that, a custodian who was able to get into these rooms because people were familiar with him and knew him, middle name was Walter. So they were able to get him and all of that. And that is where I started my working with law enforcement career. And that was wild. So there's been a lot of different things. So I don't know if you heard of the Jacob Wetterling case. I worked on that one too. Unfortunately, I saw that Jacob, right from the beginning, was not still here on Earth. And it was very heartbreaking to basically say that I felt that he was unalived almost immediately. And there were a lot of psychics and a lot of people calling the Wetterling family. He was a doctor, I think maybe a chiropractor, but I think he was at least a doctor. And I talked to him several times, and he's like, we just don't know what to do. There's so many people calling. And I said, the only thing you can do is pray and have faith. That's the only thing you can do. But I'll tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. I think the poor Jacob is not here any longer. And it was years, and they found out that Jacob had been unalived very close to where they lived almost immediately after he was abducted. And so that I don't like working on those cases. I'm going to tell you, anything that has to do with little kids. I mean, it's bad enough. Isn't crime bad enough? And then you have to add a kid, a child. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was bad. That was bad. Let me see. Sherry. Jenna Nielsen is an unsolved case out of Raleigh, North Carolina. She was 8 months pregnant at the time. Ethan's Law. Jenna Nielsen. Oh, I got to tell you this. I have so many people contacting me and emailing me all the time about all these people and sending me things. Seriously, I wish I could work on them all, because it is so heartbreaking. But the one that I think I'm going to get involved with is Hannah Kobayashi. I don't think that Hannah is with us any longer from what I'm seeing, but I will see. So, and if anybody sees, I just saw another flicker out of this doorway again. If you see that, or you can just say, look, Zelda, you're losing your noodle. Okay, girl, you can do that. So, but, oh no, don't apologize. Don't apologize. Listen, I love it when you guys give me these. Brian Camp, I mean, I really wanted, I wish I could just take a day and go, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. My problem, I'll just tell you what my problem is. I record on my phone. I love it because I have an editing software on my phone. I can edit, I can add, I can subtract, I can do whatever I need to do. However, I don't have enough room on my phone, because these videos take up so much room, that I can record back to back to back to back. And then it takes time to upload them to YouTube and Patreon and wherever else I'm going to upload. And so that's the time. And while it's doing all this upload, I can't go on my phone and record again. So I can't multitask. I don't like to have a camera. I've tried that because I don't have this editing software that I like is not on. I can't put it on a camera. I can only do it on my phone. So maybe the best thing for me to do is just get another phone and do it that. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But if I could just do all that, and like I said, I'm really trying to work and do some time management type things now, because quite frankly, time management is needing to be my friend, because I get lost in these cases. Seriously, I mean, I like to listen to Melanie. I listen to just almost everyone. But I like to listen to them just to get, because I like to know the legal stuff. So I'm not, because that's not my gig and I'm not spouting that. So anyway, Irish, I cried my eyes out when Brian Camp jury came back not guilty. Did you not love that foreman who did not even wait? Bless her. God bless her. She didn't even wait, seriously, for the judge to say, have you reached a verdict? You know, she didn't go through that. Yes, we are. She just came out there, not guilty. I was like, whoa, yes. I loved it. Everybody where I was watching just erupted in the chat. I loved it. I was in tears as well, because daggone it, bless that boy. And I think I would think of my son, you know, now he's younger than my son, but it's like he went up against this. That just goes to show you what adrenaline can do when you are doing everything in your power to protect those that you love. That is exactly what adrenaline can do. You just turn on this superhuman. He did. Look, this other guy was much bigger than him, and he didn't have any clothes on. Oh my heck. And he was still fighting. I mean, one bad swift move and he would have been downed. That would have been heartbreaking indeed. Would have been horrible. You had a friend that was unalived by a DWI driver Saturday morning. Oh, Jenna's dad was on the news. I went and helped the family pass out flyers in 2007. I'm sorry about that. Oh my gosh, Lady Zelda. Well, you know what? The editing part is fine because it just takes me no time. It's the time between recording because I can't record on my computer. So it's the recording back to back. That's what I would like to do. But I'm sure I'll figure out a way. There's always a way. But thank you for that. Probably I can. There's always a way. Let's see here. I saw that mystery. Let me see. Oh yes, that bless that foreman. She was excited to spit out. Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. But yes, sir, that prosecutor, did you just not want to go pooey on you? That prosecutor, that makes me so mad when people are so snarky and you're in the middle of a crisis. This was a crisis. And he expected this young man to sit there and tout the law. He's not a lawyer. He expected him to think, oh, I should do this. He's out of his mind. Yes, I did watch. It was wonderful. I loved him. I did watch. Yes. I agree. Shame on them. And you know what? Thank God for, that gives us a little, that restored my faith a little bit in the justice system in Massachusetts. Hello there. Oh, hold on a minute, Irish. It went back to hello there, Maria. Hello. Hi, how are you tonight? It took 19 minutes for the cops to come. He had no choice. That's right. What was he supposed to do? And then the prosecutor says, well, you could have ran upstairs while this guy's laying there. And you could have run upstairs. You could have got, you could have got the two kids. You could have ran downstairs. Weren't the keys in your car? Look, if he would have left the scene of a crime, don't you think that they would have thought that was going to be pretty funny? And then he could have said, well, I tried to get my children out of the situation. Oh, no, we don't like that. So he was pretty much between a rock and a hard place. That guy, I don't know. But I can tell you what, he's probably taking a lot of guff. So there you go. Hi, Lisa. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't get a notification. For some reason, the Tubi is people aren't getting notifications. Just so all of you know, before we have to go, we got 5 minutes before we all start dancing. Then I'm going to eat some Thanksgiving leftovers. I don't have much left, but hey, I'm here for it. So just for all of you who know, for those of you who are Seldonators and Tarot Crime Lab techs, there is a new video out for you, okay? Then for those of you who are the Tarot Crime Lab techs only, there is an additional video out for you. And I'm putting those links in my community tab under whatever member designation that you fall into category. Then you can see those, because I'm hearing that people don't get notifications, and that makes me sad. So yeah. Friend heard from her mother since passing 2 years ago. Stonewall Manor, Rocky Mount. Oh yeah, North Carolina. Friend took a picture of the house, sent it to me. I saw multiple faces in the windows. Look it up later. Okay. I will do that. I will do that. Now here's a little thing, because come December we're all a little frazzled. I'm going to keep trying to go live once a week and then on Saturday nights, and I want everybody to say hello to the rewatch crew who is out of the country of the US and out of the same time zone as Canada and the US. And we say hello to you and thank you for being here. We love you. And they're always on the rewatch, right? Mercury retrograde, the rewatch queue. And then if you want to get a reading in, please do me a favor. Go to that website that I put into the chat, because it ends tomorrow, which is December 1st. Can you believe it? December 1st. I'm still in July. We love the replay crew. Karen says the news came out about Brian Camp's local police station was 2 miles away, but not staffed that night. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do if the cops can't come? I mean, look, you can't blame the cops if they're not staffed correctly. What are you going to do? So, anyway, I posted the links in the community tabs. You'll see members. There'll be a members only. There's two, one for all members, and then the other one is for the Tarot Crime Tech Labs. I said that wrong. The Tarot Crime Lab Techs, or Tech Lab, whatever you are. It's there for you. I don't see the link. I'm going to check on it, but check. I just posted them before I came on tonight. And I know you are a member, my darlings. So yes. So anyway, my darlings, I love each and every one of you. I just want you to know that. And we're getting ready to fly out of here. So please return your tables to the upright position. And just know that I'll be back. I'll be back again, my darlings. But we got a lot going on for December. There's so much going on. Next year, I'm going to be doing paranormal investigations. I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff. Hang tight, because y'all are just stuck with me. Much love to you, my darlings. I love each and every one of you. We're going to see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. And my darlings, here we go. Hang on. I'm going to port you over to Turtle Boy, and please tell him that you're dropping in and say hi. Bye for now.